Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Stubbs here. Welcome back to another video. This is a drag tuning tutorial for rear-wheel drive cars. I'm going to bring one out for front-wheel drive cars and also one for four-wheel drive cars. I don't know why you'd like to do front-wheel drive drag racing, because it's not very effective as doing something with a rear-wheel drive or a four-wheel drive setup. But I'll try to do one nonetheless. Anyway, right now I have my Pagani Huayra here. I actually tuned this... I tuned this yesterday and I actually wanted to check it out and see what it was like. I took it out and I started drag racing with a bunch of people online last night, and I was actually very impressed with it, and it was doing really well. I think it only lost to something like a Veyron, which is obvious, and I don't know why the Veyron wasn't like not allowed to race against, but it was very fast. And I actually took one of the GTR Black Editions as well, and I won against that, but I don't know what setup that thing had on it. But anyway, it is a very good car, and I want to give you guys a setup to this, and also hopefully help you guys to be able to tune your cars for drag racing. Most of your rear-wheel drive cars for drag racing, and I'll try to bring out a four-wheel drive one, and if you want the front-wheel drive one, I'll bring that out as well. But as of right now, for this car, let's go ahead and go into the car settings and show you guys pretty much what I've done to this to get it the way it is, and I'll show you guys sort of a quarter-mile time, just so you guys can see how fast this thing actually is. Anyway, it has 1,232 brake horsepower and 1,105 kilos, which is absolutely insane. But anyway, something that you guys should always start off with, no matter what car you're tuning for drag racing, is the tires, which should be always racing soft tires. It doesn't matter what car it is. If you want to tune it for drag racing, it has to be racing soft tires. And I'll start from the bottom up because it's a lot easier to mess around like this. Anyway, from body, of course, you actually have to make your car as light as it possibly goes. That's kind of obvious. If you have a wing on the car, if you don't have a wing, you can add one. If you're really desperate in making this super fast, add a wing on the car and mess around with the downforce. Bring it down as low as you possibly can. Right now, I can't mess around with mine just because I don't have a wing on it, or I don't have like a front splitter or something that I can actually mess around with, so I can get more downforce. Go back into power, and power again, just make this as powerful as you possibly can. NOS is an option. If you guys want to add it on, you can add it on. If there's a restriction in the lobby that doesn't let you drive around with NOS, I guess, then just absolutely no point in buying it. And now when we go into drivetrain, of course, we have our fully customizable mechanical slip differential, limited slip differential actually, and usually this should be 60, 60, and 20, and that's pretty much it. You just bring these all the way up to 60, and then just leave this one the way it is. It doesn't really make too much of a difference because you're driving in a straight line, and the differential usually comes in when you're going around corners. But I don't think that makes that much of a difference. Anyway, the clutch and flywheel, triple play clutch, and the propeller shaft, if you can get the option to choose the carbon propeller shaft, you can do that. If you don't, leave it the way it is. Now transmission. Transmission is something pretty important here because it is something that you guys are going to have to mess around with. So if I go into something like this and I'll mess around with the transmission, I think I've already done it on this by accident. So if I do that, buy the fully customizable transmission, and to mess around with it, also you're gonna have to flip the transmission, which I'm gonna teach you how to do now. You're gonna have to do this with every single car. It doesn't matter if it's a rear-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, or a four-wheel drive car. You're still gonna have to basically flip the transmission, just because of the way the cars work, and that's how you're supposed to make them, tune them for drag racing. Anyway, I'll teach you how to do that now. So for final gear, usually this is for rear-wheel drive cars, so I'll teach you guys how to do that for a four-wheel drive car later on. But usually I found that being from 2000, not 2000, it's actually 2.5 to like 2.8 or 2.9 is very normal for a car to be tuned for drag racing. So I'm going to keep this at 2.8 initially. So I'll bring this down to that. So that's pretty normal for a rear-wheel drive car, depending, of course, on what type of car it is. But again, mess around with the cars and see what you can get. And then, of course, you can do some sort of tweaking and changing depending on what car it is. So after you've done that, go to the max speed here. Bring that all the way to the left to whatever it is. Here, apparently, it's 260 kilometers an hour. Then go to the actual transmission itself and start messing around with the gears. First gear, bring that all the way to the left because it has 1,000 horsepower. Of course, it doesn't say 1,000 horsepower here because it isn't tuned, and it's in the C setup. I'm just trying to show you guys how to flip the transmission. But bring first gear all the way to the left. Usually if it's a rear wheel drive, you're going to end up starting in second gear. If it's a really powerful car, you should be starting in third gear, but I haven't found one that's actually incredibly powerful in this game that I actually have to start in third gear. Actually, I have to start in third gear with this car if I'm using NOS. If I'm not using NOS, I have to start in second gear. So bring second gear down all the way to the left as well. Third gear, you can leave it as is, or you can bring it down a little bit to the left, but usually about a third of the way in is pretty fine. Again, you can mess around with the transmission and see which is the best for your car. Fourth gear, bring that about a third of the... Oh god, that's too much. Bring that about 2/3 of the way up. It should be somewhere equal to your third gear. If you see the lines up on the screen, somewhere equal to that. So it kind of goes in a straight line. Then fifth gear, bring that to the left. So again, it kind of matches up with the little line thing. Since this is going to be a 7-speed transmission, then you're gonna have to leave fifth gear, and you're actually gonna have to use fifth gear a lot. So sixth gear, then bring all the way to the right, and seventh gear, bring that all the way to the right as well, because of the way this car drives. And because it has 7 speeds, if it only has 6 gears, then you can bring 5th gear all the way to the right, and then 6th gear all the way to the right as well. But again, that depends on what car you're driving. Then after you've done all that, go to the final gear and bring that all the way to the left, so you can pretty much expand your ratios there. So your graph should look something similar to that. Now, after you've done with transmission, let's go on to the suspension and show you guys all of that. What I found best on this car to work is this setup here. Of course, you have to buy the fully customizable, height adjustable, whatever, fully customizable suspension, basically. So after you've done all that, make sure you go ahead and with the ride height, what I found best is you go about, I don't know, 3/4 of the way to the right, I guess. So make it kind of high at the front, and then make it as high as you possibly can at the back. Spring rate as high as you possibly can at the front, and as low as you possibly can at the back, because of the way the car shifts its weight to the back. Because it is a rear wheel drive and the car shifts its weight to the back, you're going to try to get a lot of strain from the tires and put it in the suspension, so you basically won't get a lot of tire spin. If let's say you put the spring rate all the way as high as it goes at the back, that means that the car's power is going to go through the suspension instantly, and it's going to go all the way to the wheels, and it's going to make your wheels just spin like crazy. So you're going to have to try to get a lot of that power and try to get the suspension to basically suck in that power before it actually goes into the wheels. Anyway, going to the dampers again. The lowest at the front I found was the best to be 2. You can go down to 1 if you want, but again, you can mess around with different types of cars, depends on what car it is. But 2 at the front, 9 at the back, 2 at the front, 9 at the back again. Anti-roll bars, I just left them the way they were at 3. I found that they haven't made like a huge difference. Anyway, camber, bring that to 4.5 or 5, it doesn't matter, somewhere similar to what I have here on the screen. Camber at the back, make sure that's on 0. Toe angle, make sure that's on 80 or 0.8, and then toe angle at the front should be at -1. So that is pretty much it from me. I will show you guys now the car when it was on the track, so you guys can see exactly what it's like. The first run here is without NOS, and then the second run is going to be with NOS. And as you can see, the first run is absolutely insane, and it comes to 7.8 seconds. In the quarter mile, and the reason why I know that 7.8 seconds is because I was using my video editing software to actually measure the time between when the car started and when it ended, so it was 7.8 seconds. And then the one with NOS, as you can see here, I have to start it off in 3rd gear, which is absolutely crazy, and then I managed to get a 7.6 times, so it was 0.2 of a second faster than me using it without NOS. Anyway, hopefully this video helped you guys. I am definitely going to try bring out a 4-wheel drive setup as well. Again, this won't work for every single car, so I don't do drag setups because I'm not a very good tuner for drag racing, so I don't want to actually give you guys bad tunes or stuff like that. But this is one that I actually found to be really good. That's why I decided to bring it out to you guys. And also, thank you for watching this video. I do appreciate every single one of you guys for liking and subscribing and doing all that stuff. So anyway, if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. I'll make sure to get back to you. That's pretty much it from me. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.